my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro. Work with these hands, you see this hard form. Say with your chest, my pen is hardcore. Even at my desk, feel like a star-lord. And it shows how much we give it all for. Now it's time to give them all an encore. Till it's back to the drawing board. Welcome in, come meet my Bristol bro. Anything from this to that, my Bristol bro. So nice to introduce my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Another Bristol Bros. It is Tuesday. What's up, Sam?
Brother, we're getting it.
I'm
sitting here shaking my head because it's like every time I hear that song, I'm just like, it's so obnoxious.
You should make a new one.
Honestly, that ain't a bad idea.
I mean, it's better than the one you made because you didn't make one. So
that's true.
Let's get it.
And to be honest with you, I tried to reach out to your buddy about doing another one and just zero response.
Crickets.
Yeah.
He told me he told me he would do another one, but he's got some personal things he's going through, so that's probably what's going on.
It's whatever, man. I'll hit the studio and do it myself.
I mean, you have all these hidden talents. I would like you to put some of that into the show. That would be cool to hear.
I mean, we definitely could.
I have a feeling it's going to be very different, though. You're not going to be rapping on there.
What, do you think I couldn't spit
I
bars?
think you could, but I don't know. I don't know. That might be a good challenge.
You see this? I got my Tribe Called Quest records right here. Your boy can spit.
I forget who I'm talking to sometimes. Awesome. Well, we have a really great guest with us tonight. I'm not going to waste any time bringing him onto the show. The founder and publisher of Cosmic Lion Productions, Mr. Eli Schwab, is here with us. What's up, Eli?
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? I was literally listening to Tribe all day today.
To be fair, I mean, Eli was rocking out backstage.
I was, dude. I like that song. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's good.
I like it, but Sam is growing weary of it. So the gauntlet is thrown down for Sam to do something better. Maybe we'll let the Bristol Bros fans vote on which one they like better, Sam's or the one we already have. Yep. Keep the one we have if the fans vote.
You should.
Sam's going to be going and greasing the wheels, though. He'll be bribing them with Patreon access for votes for him.
Hey, man, whatever works.
Vic is in the house. What's up, Vic?
What up, Vic?
Victor Medina. Our buddy Michael Gardner's here. And we got Eli here. How you doing today?
I'm really good, guys. It's been a big day, another long day of packing orders and submitting metadata for distribution and doing all this stuff. So it's a nonstop work day for me these days.
The grind.
In a good way.
Yeah. Is this your full-time gig now?
It's my full-time gig. Yes.
Nice.
I used to do like 4x10s when I worked for Apple for like 10 years before I went solo. Yeah. And I work more now than I ever did, because when you're working for yourself, you don't get the schedule. You're
glad we all have people in this that relate to that. I try to tell people, it's like, you don't have a day off. It's wonderful to work for yourself, but I've been working for myself for 23 years now, and it's always a grind.
Always. And hey, I don't know, they say that thing, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. But I think if you love what you do, you work every single day, all day of your life.
Yeah.
Because you live it.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are elements of it that are work, right? Like, it ain't all fun and games.
Yeah, no, submitting metadata, packing orders. Actually, I kind of get like a Zen kind of thing going on when I'm packing orders, but not metadata.
Yeah.
Boring. But it's worth it. In the end, you kind of glaze over that stuff, and then by the time it's all set and you're in the catalog, you're like, hell yeah, look at that, dude. That was worth it.
And you get to unwind on Bristol Bros.
That's right, dude. I'm psyched.
Put in a hard day of work, come hang out with the Bristol Bros.
That's right. I got a
It's
beer.
awesome.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, Sam,
speaking of
I was just gonna say, how did you and Eli meet each other, Sam?
Well, it's one of those things where I always recommend for people to do, and if you're involved in your own business, especially if you're a cartoonist, just show up and do things and actually be involved in the community, and you'll be amazed what actually happens.
Right.
So yeah, I went and did the I don't know what you want to call it, like round table discussion, panel discussion with the OAX and IC3 guys, and we're friendly with Cass right here, friend of the show. So I popped in there, and now here we are.
Oh, just that simple.
Yeah, man. They kind of like rip on me in those shows. It's kind of cool. I like it. I like being the guy there, but it's fun. I love working with Kazra and Sardo and IC3 and stuff. It's been really huge for Cosmic Lion. I mean, being able to be a sponsor. It sounds crazy. Being able to spend money on them, for it,
Yeah.
Being able to give them money is a pleasure. But no, it's like they give me all these opportunities for it, and it's like it's a nice little partnership. Especially being able to have worked with them at OAX and been a sponsor of the Kirby Awards and all that. Man, that was an honor.
That was super cool to see, man. It just anytime somebody's given Jack his due.
Yeah,
I love it.
Me too. I mean, we all. It's not. I'm not saying something revelatory here when I say that Jack is like the man. He's the best ever to do it, and he blows minds. And like, so whatever we can do to keep his name on your MF and mouth, I'll do it.
It really is. It's hard to put into perspective for people that don't make comics, or just even people that do make comics. It's just like the sheer amount of stuff that dude put out during his career is insane.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think there's any other artist, period, that has that amount of pages that's been done.
No. Prolific.
And those like when you look at those numbers or whatever, it's insane. Like how many pages per day, per week, per month, per year that like Jack cranked out. I don't think anybody's done that. Nobody's done that.
No, and not to the level of maintaining a standard of quality.
And
he was pretty consistent.
Very. And so you could say he was pushing the envelope at a time when there wasn't as much to push against or whatever. But still, the fact that his art is looked at as amazing now, it's like there was only 30 bands in the 60s, and so the Beatles were able to just rise to the top of 30 bands, but now there's like an infinite number of bands. Not saying the Beatles aren't good, they're obviously
right.
But but now there's like a million bands, and so it's like a lot harder to rise to the top of band world.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So speaking of that, and I guess throwing yourselves to the wolves and being somewhere that's a little overpopulated, you currently have a Kickstarter up, and you guys are always pretty successful on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing in terms of like your Kickstarter campaigns that kind of set yourselves apart from like the oversaturation of Kickstarter?
First, I want to say amazing segue. Second, I want to say it's really hard, dude. I mean, I don't know what we're doing. I think just having a product and an audience is like the number one thing, and connecting with them and staying up with them and keeping them interested. There is so many Kickstarters, and this new one that we have right now with Dean Haspiel and Doug Latino, the real life stories only in New York, is, I think it's, a one of a kind thing, because there isn't a collection of New York stories. There isn't an anthology with all these amazing creators from, as high as Drew Friedman and Roz Chast to, I don't mean as low, but to as independent as, my dude, Ben Granoff, and Sarah Grillo, someone I worked with back in the day. There's like all these, there's the full range of people just like there is in New York. So I don't know. I think I just like to set myself apart. I don't know, dude. You can't set yourself apart on Kickstarter because, I mean, Kickstarter has everything from this crazy record player I bought to like, you know, a bunch of comics with just boobs on the cover, and that's what they're selling. To like, you know, it's like it's hard to differentiate yourself. I think you got to just stay in your lane and engage those that, you know, want to be in your lane. That's the best way to do it. Don't try to overbite, you know, just try to chew that sandwich that you got and do it the best you can.
Very well said.
When I put you full screen, I couldn't help but notice you got some original art back there behind you. What are we working with?
I do. I'm a huge original art fan. Shout out to my dude Botter over at Shortbox Podcast. He always makes fun of me because I said this quote of that collecting original art is like owning the blood and guts of comics.
Yes.
It's the real thing. This is a Wally Wood from Eerie Magazine here.
Beautiful.
And this is Michael Zulli from Puma Blues. And this over here is a pinup from Ken Mitroni, who did the Ninja Turtles Adventures. And it's a spoof on the Casey Jones cover, which then was spoofed. And I think it was like Turtles Adventures #2. And that's with Grendel and a Ninja Turtle.
Awesome.
And
good stuff. And you got a Ninja Turtles book behind you there too.
Oh, what's you talking about? This #1?
Yes,
Turtles #1?
yes. I spotted it all, Mr. Eli. As soon as I hit that full screen, I said, "Oh, this guy's got some good stuff."
That is actually, I will out myself. It's one of the reprints that this guy Rich something did. He bought the plates that they used to print the first Turtles, and he reprinted all these reprints that you can get off him online. So
nice.
It's not an actual #1. I do have one. It's a third print, and it's at home.
So
but it's
somewhat of that one's somewhat of a facsimile reader copy then.
It is. Nice. I like to mess with people with it. I like to take it out and flip through it.
Michael Gardner says, "Nice original art."
Thanks, dude.
Yes, indeed.
On the topic of things that are behind you, you got that Wizard back there. So I know that you had gone through a name change on that. I'm assuming that there was some legal things that happened, or is that just a name change you just decided to do?
Oh, what you mean? Oh, because in that interview, I was like, it's called Lion Cosmique now.
Yeah.
Well, I think no, there's nothing. There's been no problem. Wizard's out of business. And
sure, I just didn't know if
Wizard,
they had like a parent holder, you know.
I don't know. Well, before Wizard Magazine, there was Wizard Magazine, WHIZZARD. So it's like, it's a little too, no, I just kind of like, that was a time and a place in my life and in the creative growth of Cosmic Lion. And that kind of anthology feel grew into this newer project, Lion Cosmique. So it's not that, you know, that was then, those were those 2 issues. We did them. They were so huge for us. And I met so many people and tons, literally all the people that I work with in Cosmic Line Productions now, I met through either that or Image Grand Design. So those things were absolutely amazing, one of a kind stepping blocks for me in my career.
I mean, I think that the name change makes a lot more sense too for an anthology, because like when you think of Wizard, you think more of like behind the scenes, more dirt sheetsy kind of thing. So I think the name change does make more sense for an anthology for sure.
Yeah. Man, I agree. Yeah. And I like to keep things growing and changing and new. And I don't want to too much be rooted in something from the past or whatever.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you want to be your own brand. It makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I get weary of too much. Sorry, one final thought on that. I get weary of too much like homage. You know, when I'm trying to do art or doing a cover, the first thing I usually think of is like, well, let me homage this cover. Let me homage that. But then I try to be like, okay, no, set that aside. Try to think of something new, do something different. And so I'm trying to kind of steer clear of too much homage, even though my roots are absolutely homage and that type of stuff.
I was just going to say, what guided you into that lane of independent publishing? Because I mean, that's a lot of, we were talking about how much work it is to to do business on your own. I mean, publishing, there's a lot of different facets, a lot of different things to take into consideration, a lot of work to do. I'm sure you wear many different hats. So how do you end up there, man?
Well, I think it really did start from something like Image Grand Design, which I have up there, and Wizard. Those were kind of the two things that really launched me, as well as like the Ween Zine. Just working with people and seeing how much creativity people had. So I was just like, I hate my job at Apple, and I do not want to do it anymore. Soul crushing, and I hated talking to customers all day and refunding people's Clash of Clans in-app purchases all day. And so like I was like, you want to do what you love, and you want to, and so I just felt like, if I can use this, what I have, and if I can help people get print runs out, I have a business degree, and I feel like I have a bit of a lane and a bit like a creative idea, and just something, homaging, things that I liked as well, like Kamiko. Although they ended terribly, their start and the feel was like really good, and Image and Calvin and Hobbes creator Bill Watterson too, trying to have that creative integrity, not sell out, stay true to your ideas. I don't know, man. I felt like I had the tools and I had the talent, to use the quote from one of my favorite films.
Nice. That's
know.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it just kind of naturally grew. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I first became aware of Cosmic Lion because I had Raymar Brunson on my podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Raymar Brunson is absolutely a killer. He's killing it. He's the new hotness. He outsells everybody else by a ton. And he's just doing really, really well. He makes amazing work. He's a real dude. I don't mean like he's not like, he's not AI, but I mean, he's just like a down to earth, like chill dude. Tells you what he's thinking of, what he's thinking, is straightforward, is supremely creative, works well with us, and just has these great ideas. And that dude's going somewhere. He's good.
I was going to say, Raymar's insanely talented. Have you worked with Clayton Rosman at all? He's somebody that Raymar, he's a really good writer that Raymar worked with. He did a Bane Batman zine that Raymar illustrated. That's really awesome. If you haven't heard of him, reach out to him. He's a great writer.
I will. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. Raymar, that's your fault. All right.
Yeah. Raymar is keeping him to himself.
What the hell? Sick, dude. Yeah, he's killing. He's always out there, and he's got these amazing the covers for Ninja Turtles Godzilla at IDW right now, and I've got Ghostman 3 basically ready in design, ready to be printed, and we've got a secret kind of project that him and I and another guy are working on. A TV writer has this amazing project that we're going to announce that's going to be debuting at Heroes Con. So we're kind of like sitting on this secret project.
Nice.
You'll see it soon. Yeah, Ray's the man. Raymar, really Ray, Brunson. I don't know, whatever you want to call him.
Yes, love Ray.
And
his Ghost Man is such a unique, funny concept. He's just killing it with that. He's everywhere right now. So better be careful, man. One of the big two is going to try to snipe him out and take him away from us all.
I kind of hope,
that's the thing, right? You want to see him do well.
Yeah. I'm not like, I don't want to be too precious, about the people I work with. My collaborator, Rocco Jerome, who we work with on Ghost Agents, he's like, I want these guys to be too big for me to work with them in 5 years, 3 years. Like I want them, I hope that Ray's too big to work with us in 5 years, because that's what they deserve. That's how good they are. And if we can give them this platform to jump off of, and we really, really want to do that because they kill.
You can be the Frank Zappa of comics. You just bring in all these guys and train them up, and then they go and be just massive superstars on their own.
Yeah, I'm a huge Zappa fan. I got the.
Hey, look at that!
There
See,
you go. Our buddy, the amazing veteran artist Guy Dorian Sr. says, "Every kind for every mind." I like that.
Yeah, that's my slogan. That's the Cosmic Lion slogan.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. That I pitched that to the music venue I worked at in Burlington, Vermont. Music of every kind for every mind. They didn't bite, so that's their loss. Unfortunately, they closed down. Rest in peace, Nectars.
That's why.
Yeah, you're right.
But I did want to say that does say a lot about your character and just being about a business owner as well. That you're aware that like you're helping kind of foster people's careers into to grow. Because it's like I'll keep names out of play here, but James is aware. But it's like I've worked with people in the past that they were against like me doing my own thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's good on you that you're able to kind of like foster people's careers and like see where they go, with your help. So
yeah, man. Well, it goes back to that thing like the Creators Bill of Rights and all the independent comic, and like I spoke for a second about Kamiko, and Matt Wagner is a favorite creator of mine, and he's become a friend through the Grendel cast. And he had a hell of a time with Kamiko. I loved Kamiko until he told me how fucked up it was for him in the end, if I may go blue for a second. It just and that sucks. And I would never ever want to be on that side. So, in every contract, it's like you guys own this character. It's yours. This is the deal for this book and that book and this book. Even if you go, this sucks for me. But if Raymart sells Ghostman for a film, I'm not really in it unless he says, come on or something, which I hope you guys do. But, like it's just, I want these guys and girls to these creators to just be able to do exactly what they want. I want to help them get their vision out to the world. And then, if everyone loves it and they keep going and they want to move up to Image, I guess Dark Horse isn't a thing anymore. I don't know. We'll see what happens post Mike Richardson. But if they're going up above and beyond, more power to you, dude. Let me help you however I can.
I guess for you, and this is kind of a loaded question, I guess, but like, where do you see Cosmic Lion in the next 5 years?
Oh gosh, this is a job interview question.
That's a good
one. I would really love to be like up there with like a, at the level of like a Boom or not necessarily IDW, but like I'd love to be up there. I'd love to have a couple investors and maybe a business manager or something like that. If I can get into like some back end weeds, like I'd like to see the business team grow. I'd like to see the creative teams grow and blossom a little bit, like, from where they are now. I would love to just be able to see a couple more of these like ideas that I pitch kind of like come to fruition. Shout out to Guy for the Big Bang comics. Yeah, that was a fun one. I have that right here. Yeah, that was, that's actually a really good call out, because I do like, it would be really fun to grow and do more things like that. Like working with IP that I really love, and I keep pitching to people and bands and, all these different things, older comics from the 80s that I want to bring back, creators that I love. And so I just would like to see the brand grow. And so that I have another saying that I like from the roots to the fruits. And so I try to foster people from both, quadrants of that, people who were our influences, people that we work with now, like Matt Howarth, who was in heavy metal in the 70s with Mobius and Droulet, and AC Farley, whose shirt I'm wearing right now. We're hoping to work together. And, I'm working with, shout out Nick Burchard right there, Tiny Viking Productions. Yes, his book is available at Cosmic Lion Productions now, but also, he's a great dude, an amazing cartoonist, even before we met. And So yeah, he has an amazing hardback about Joan of Arc. You should definitely check out. Anyway, yeah, no, I would like to keep growing it. One thing I'm really excited about moving forward is we're working with the estate of Bernie Moreau, the creator of the Jam, and worked with Matt on Grendel, the Brian Lee Sung era, and so we're going to be getting more of his work out there, shining lights on the old heads while carving new niches for new old heads, the people who will be the old heads for the next generation who stick around. So I just want to keep that roots to the fruits.
Ooh, Sam, I thought you were Batman for a moment.
Yeah, I don't know why why it keeps getting dark. Look at it. It just keeps getting dark out on its own.
Man.
It's your soul. It's looking into your soul.
Oh
no.
But if nobody knows though, the jam rules. That's like a weird, obscure comic, and that's like something that's down my alley, James. So if you don't know what the Jam is, you got to look up the Jam.
I'll have to look it up.
It's hard to get too. It's not out there in those back issue bins. It went from Matrix to Kamiko to Slave Labor Graphics to, I can't remember where it ended, but it went all around it. The Kamiko, the Jam Turbo Injected Color Adventure from Hell or something, very long title. It's absolutely glorious, and that's the easiest one to get. So Mike Allred named it one of his favorite comics.
Oh
yeah,
that's high praise.
Yeah, man.
A little bit of inside baseball, and I'm just not saying this because you're in front of me here, but you're kind of like an inspiration behind a lot of the things that I've done.
Oh no,
I'm doing. So James and I, we've been talking for probably like a year or so now, I want to say. And when I first met James, he kind of like asked me, what my goals were, so on and so forth. And at the time I was doing a lot of anthologies, and I had used you as a touchstone to kind of say, like, I kind of want to do an Eli Schwab thing, to where I'm starting to find, artists on my own and start to publish them, and also working on my own comics. So again, just kind of like not kissing your ass, but I'm kissing your ass while you're here. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't see it as that. I mean, I'm happy to inspire people just as those people ahead of me inspired me. Like, it's again the roots to the fruits thing. It's like, I didn't create it, and I'm just continuing the line of inspiration. So that's what I'm here for.
Oh yeah,
Sam is bathed in the darkness.
I'm gonna try to get this fixed. I don't know.
It's gonna bother him now.
It is.
Yeah, see, the Apple does that. They like try to do. There you go. You got it. I don't know if you're on
because you talk it. No, it's because you talked about them though. They're influencing.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got
my
that power.
Non-compete has ended, so
yeah,
you got nothing good on you, Tim Apple.
One of the things I wanted to ask you though, because through the grapevine a little while back, I had seen, I can't remember where it was at, so I apologize for where I seen it at, but I had mentioned that you were like a protege of like Jim Mahfood a little bit. I was kind of curious. I'm kind of curious, like what the backstory is behind that, because I mean, I don't think you were, but like Jim has helped me out a ton throughout my my art journey. So I was just kind of curious what your connection was with them.
Jim was just my first favorite. My first favorite creator. I have his. I like that this table just scoots around. Though my lights
that's cool.
Fire out, but I've got the first Mahfood comic I ever bought here, framed. 40-ounce comics.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? This wasn't this was the first like mini of his that I got. But
original art too.
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got his, Gen X Underground. I think, a lot of people say that was a big inspiration on them. Generation X was my favorite book then. And, it blew my mind when this black and white independent comic version of it came out, and they were playing Atari, and it's like, this is what it can be. And so then I started learning more about Mahfood. I bought that in 97 or something, the first time I went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. And I remember asking them, do you have any Jim Mahfood? And they're like, you actually like that guy? I think it was like that Zapsic dude. And I was like, yeah, I do. He's my favorite. He's like, ugh. And he like took me over, and I bought that. And so he was the first person that I ever wrote to, the first creator. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked here. What's that action figure?
There were several guy. Which one?
He was the first person I wrote to in 2004. I moved to New York City, and I wrote to him. I think I actually got to meet him at the first con I ever worked at, which was MoCA, the Museum of Comic and Cartoon Art in New York City. And so I volunteered and I got to work with him there. And so then after that, I wrote to him and he drew me a picture of my original character, Jester Man. And so we just kind of started a connection and writing back and forth. And I love that he was so big into music and dropping some of my favorite bands like Medeski, Martin and Wood, and of course, P-Funk and Buckethead and Praxis, Bill Laswell, crazy people like this. And so at that first show too, he was tabled right next to Dave McKean, who had just done the Buckethead comic. And so we talked about music and we just made a connection there. And then I just kept seeing him over the years and writing to him. And then we kind of started a friendship once I moved to LA. We got to hang out. We had some mutual friends. We saw Dweezil Zappa together one night. That was sick. And so I don't know, we just kind of started a friendship, and he's always been a person that I can write to, and he'll give me advice, and he's been there, done that in the independent comic book world. So he's just like the coolest dude. I love Mahfood. I could talk about him all day.
He's awesome. Big friend of my pod and of Bristol Bros. Although we're still trying to get him locked down to get his ass on here. So Jim, if you're watching,
I was harassing him again today. Don't worry.
Yeah, we need to we need to tag team it. I'll hit him up too.
A little off topic, but you're gonna need to spin your camera around again. But what was that? An 8-track player? What was that behind you? That thing right there? Yeah.
Yes, it's an 8-track player. Let's see. I got this John and Yoko, but I got some John Coltrane over here. Let's try this one. I just love like how visceral it is. You just have this it's like this hard, weird cassette. You just pop it in and it blasts some funk,
Nice.
It's a little shaky.
Yep, that's an 8-track.
Yep.
Dang, dude, why is it messing with you now? There we go.
You gotta blow in it like a Nintendo cartridge.
It worked. See? So yeah, I just like old tech and old types of music and different ways. I got tapes, records. My girlfriend got me this for Christmas a few years ago.
That's
and
cool.
So I just started collecting them. People sell them.
All
for
right,
super
so
cheap.
Guy specified he wants to know what the purple figure is. That's like a custom painted Ninja Turtle, right?
It was like a soft tubie or something.
Oh yeah, it's like a kaiju turtle thing that we got at Collector Con, or what's it called, Decon.
Yeah.
And no, I think it's official. Yeah, it's
That's cool.
It fell off a truck and the box was all beat up, and so I got it for like $50. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "I don't care."
Sweet. And then Guy wants to know where you got that Galactus. Which Galactus is that?
This here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just it's like a black light, like pop.
Cool.
I don't love pops, but sometimes they make something cool, and I'm like, I should have that.
Guy says he got tossed from that shop. He said they wouldn't let me open the bags to see who drew the books, and I gave them lots of lip, and got tossed.
Which shop?
The
Secret Stash.
Secret Stash.
Oh, Jason Bob's.
Yeah.
They can be
Guy,
shit.
they didn't want you getting your oils on you're damaging oils on the books, man.
To be fair, I've gone there too, and I have not had good experiences.
Yeah, they're a little bit full of themselves. Like, come on, guys.
Yes, Guy says he has that poster, and Michael Gardner says I'm gonna say that Surfer poster is sweet too.
Hell yeah. From Mondo, one of my favorite splash pages. That issue also featured Frank Zappa's ad. He was the first rock and roll music person to advertise in comics, and it was in that and Daredevil that month.
Sweet.
Speaking of Zappa,
apparently he's the topic tonight.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Always, man.
Keeps coming up. So what do you, as far as like scouting, do you seek out talent to work on your books? Are you like getting on Instagram and scoping out people's work and reaching out to them? Like with Raymar, for instance, did you connect with Raymar through Instagram? Like, how do you go about finding your creative teams and everything that you want to publish?
Definitely. I got this little bug. I think I got it. Ew, gross. There it is. All right. I usually, like, when we started, it was from the Cartoonist Kayfabe Ringside Seats group. I met so many amazing people through that group. I would go on Instagram. I would message a lot of people. Then once I had this like solid group, then those people would be like, dude, like Kevin Anthony Catalans from Space Knights. I think he was the one that was like, you should definitely check out my friend Raymar Brunson. And then, Raymar tells me about this person. And then someone else tells me about this person, or Rocco Jerome from Ghost Agents is like, oh, we just got this dude. You should check out this dude. And then as the circle grows, then more people have connections to different people. And they're like, yo, my buddy, you should check this out. And then I also get a ton of, stuff through Instagram. People send me stuff through Instagram all the time, through the website. If you go to cosmiclionproductions.com and scroll to the bottom, there's a submission form. So I get a lot of stuff from that as well. And I try to be very picky, and I try to stick to my aesthetic when I'm picking something out. I usually can know, like, in moments, whether I feel it. I'll be honest, like, I don't 100% agree with Todd's, like, if it's bad art, it sucks as a comic book. But, like, the art really, like, sells it for me at first. Because, I mean, I do believe that if the art isn't like grabbing, or if it's like what I call a house style, like Marvel and DC style house style, I'm not really into it. And it will turn me off even before I read your story.
Right.
I don't like house style, and I'm looking for creative styles. I'm looking for doorways into someone's mind and heart. I'm looking for like real expressions of creativity, and not like, how can I fit my thing into the house style to make it sell, So when I receive things, I look for those things. And then once I like the art, I'll read, and I'll be like, oh, this is amazing. Or I'll be like, well, maybe this person is just starting and needs to work on writing a full story. And that's another reason why I started Line Cosmique, is to give people a place to start with us, or a place to, and it was the same with Wizard, which was like, I like giving people the opportunity to say, my first published work was in a magazine with Rick Veitch or Bernie Miro or whoever, like, to say, like, yeah, oh, I'm printed in this thing with whoever, so like, I try to see it in people and foster it, and then also trust the people that I trust to bring in hot fire. And so I don't know, just the group grows and keeps feeding itself, so.
I guess to kind of bounce off of that a little bit, just for all the cartoonists and just creators out there in general, I'm sure that's on the submission page on your guys' site, but like, generally, like, what are the guidelines for your submissions? Like, what are you looking for?
Man, I don't even like to do that. Just like, send me what you've got, and I want to look at it. I want to see where you're at. I just don't like imposing anything on the creative process. Eventually I'll be like, well, it actually needs to be 11 by 17, or it needs to be 8.5 by 11. You're going to want to have full bleed 0.125 on all four sides. That's about as far as I'll get on stipulations or walls for the creativity. But like, just, I want to see where you're at, and I think good advice for people who are looking to submit things is, it'd be good if it was in a PDF in one document. It'd be good if, you don't need a cover letter, but it'd be cool if there was something on there that let me know where you're at with this. Is this your completed thing? Is this something that what are you looking for? Like, are you looking for a little advice? Are you like, do you think you're ready to publish and you're looking for, an eye? Have you been sitting on this work for, years, and you submitted it to Image and they said no and you got discouraged, but now you're like, well, maybe I should think a little smaller or something. Not smaller, but think, howdy, people art. Where do you want to go? Have maybe a cover letter, have a PDF of the work, tell me where you're going, where you've been, what you think, so those things would be nice, but you don't need it. But if you send a submission with no information and it's just art, or it's just in pencils, or it's a couple images, I'll be less, and I feel like any publisher would be less likely to submit it. So take the time to make it something, juicy. Your name, your vision, a couple words, personalize everything you do like that in a way that makes me see you in it, so that I can start somewhere, just so I can feel you in it. If I just get a couple pages without a lot of information, I'm kind of going to be like, this guy he didn't care enough to fill me in fully. So what? He's just like, does he not care about this submission? Does he, so I guess
from what I got from that is be creative and don't be cookie cutter, people, if you're going to be a person, Eli.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, though, somebody who's just in the chat, I don't know if you know who Brandon Paul is or not, but he's a good friend of the show. That dude makes really good comics.
Phenomenal.
Like some of the best comics that I've seen in a long time, like very much Jeff Darrow, Mobius sort of look.
Oh, shit.
He does a comic called Chuck, and he did a variant cover for one of my comics, but that dude, he's one of my favorite artists right now, and he's like I said, he's a good friend of the show. It's like I'll get behind him and push his ass.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Came into the scene full-fledged, looking like he'd been working professionally for like 20 years. Made his own book. Dang. On his own, pencil inked, colored, lettered, written. Yeah, Adventures of Chuck Maxwell. We're waiting on number 2, Brandon. Keep plugging away, buddy.
He told me that he's going to have it done before IC3 because he's going to be in Jacksonville.
Ooh, there we go.
There we go. Hit me up, dude.
Yeah.
Come say hi. I'll be there.
Yeah, Brandon's
both upcoming.
Good dude. He says, "Aw, shucks." Thanks, dudes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I want to be at the IC3 in Rhode Island. I live right outside of Green Bay, so I'm driving to Rhode Island from Wisconsin. It's gonna be a haul.
Ooh, yeah.
Jeez, dude.
16 hours.
Yikes.
Damn. I think it's worth it. Are you tabling or?
Yeah.
Do you think that the gas is going to be less than your flight?
Probably not, but I have a lot.
Not in this America.
Yeah, probably not. So.
No, but shipping and gas and all that is probably or shipping and plane ticket is probably more.
Yeah, it's only a 1-day con, so I kind of leveled it out that way as well. I was like, I don't know if I want to invest in shipping stuff out there and getting it shipped back when I can just drive with it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I wish I was that lucky, dude.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's part of the roughness. Shout out Ro in the comments there. But Shota American. There you are. Rosalie Higashi, the creator, amazing creator of Half of the Crown and head of Cosmic Line Manga.
Nice. All right, Guy. Have a good one, buddy.
Later, Guy.
Yeah,
good old
another phenomenal talent, Mr. Guy Dorian. Close to 4 decades in the industry now.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
You should be able to be drawing and listening, yo.
I'm sure he was. He just wasn't completely focused.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You banging an energy drink this late? No.
The opposite.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, now we're talking.
He's calming down. He's winding down at the end of the long day, submitting that metadata.
Dude, it's shout out Rose, been helping me with the metadata. Yeah,
There you
dude,
go.
it's a lot
Our
of work.
buddy Henry Angelus is in here too. What's up, Henry?
What up, Henry?
Lots of the regulars making it in today. It's awesome.
Nice.
So
maybe some go ahead.
What's the crown jewel in the spinner rack over there?
Ooh, crown jewel of the spinner rack.
Mine's prominently placed on the top of mine, but where's
where's
yours hiding?
Because I moved offices, I don't know if I have my like crown jewel up in this piece right now. I do love me some Droulet. So I've got, let me see. Yeah, we've got some of these Droulet Urigal Erm up there. I do love heavy metal. I'll tell you about this piece. This is the first appearance of Sergio Aragonés Gru. I bought a collection off a dude who was a Frank Zappa, a publisher of this Frank Zappa zine called The Scene.
Take a shot when you're watching the replay. Anytime Frank Zappa is mentioned.
Holy shit. And the guy was also a huge Sergio fan, so he had a ton of shit in there. And then so I found that in there, and I couldn't find anything about it online. And I was flipping through it, and I was like, "There's that Barbarian I know so well," but it was like, you know, it's May 77, and the first Gru wasn't like till 1980 or something like that. And so I posted it in the Sergio Aragonés like forum on Facebook, and they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Nobody has that." And like, so someone told me this whole story about it's a magazine from CSUN, a local university where my girlfriend is about to graduate next month.
Oh wow!
And
congrats to her.
Thank you, master's degree.
Nice.
And so this was published right before this huge fire or earthquake or something. And so 80% of the print one was destroyed in the earthquake. And so this thing, which is like the first appearance of Gru, is super rare because 80% of the print run was. So when I was asking these guys, you know, and I hate to be I certainly wasn't like, how much is this worth? Hey guys, I found this. How much is this worth? Like my least favorite type of post on any forum. But you know, those guys were like, it's invaluable. It's like insane. So that's probably a crown jewel there. That's for sure. I make a lot of bootlegs, and so this is a bootleg I made where I collected all Dan Klaus's Cracked stuff, and so I just I like to make stuff like that and publish it and plot my own ads in there and stuff like that. So that's a fun one.
Very cool.
Shout out to Nick in the chat. There's his.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one. That's definitely
Oh, Mark's in here. What's up, Squid Marks? See you, buddy.
Definitely don't leave hot wings in your office fridge for a month because it's not going to smell good.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a bad idea, huh?
Oy vey.
Speaking of next Kickstarters, though, James, Mark.
Got it. Yeah,
me and Mark are cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be redeeming that Patreon membership you gifted me here tonight, so I can get in there and see some of the previews.
Yeah, dude, you should. Dude, every day I've been posting on there pretty much, if not every other day. 2 days ago, I got 3 pages done in a day. Ooh. I was cooking.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. It was just one of those days I just woke up and I hit the board and then I looked at the time and I'm like, oh my God, it's almost 2 a.m. And I was just sitting here drawing all day.
You just got in the zone.
Yeah. One of those things, man.
Nice when that happens. Yeah.
That feels good. Kirby's on your shoulder there.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of Kirby, shameless plug, the Jack Kirby bootleg, folks, it's out.
It wouldn't
go out there and pick it up.
It would not be in Bristol Bros without Sam doing a shameless plug.
Eli love as well. Got a Jack Kirby Awards shout out in here.
Hell yeah.
And then, like you were saying earlier, I retroactively am in the same book as Dan Klaus and Charles Burns now because I got the dummy ad. So there you go. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Join the Patreon, dude.
Yes, sir.
Sam's
Gotta
got a
join up.
lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I mainly make underground comics, so a lot of naughty, not safe for work stuff, you know.
Oh,
But got to give a shout out to West Coast Dave, friend of the show.
hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And
I've
as well,
got that added in one of my things as well.
Yeah.
Got to give a shout out to James.
Oh, and
Solo.
look at this. Look at this. Boom. Couldn't be
boom.
letting you have all the fun.
And then good old Squid Marks, who was just in the chat. Like I said, me and him are working on a comic together as we speak, so more to come.
Like you didn't have enough projects going, Sam.
Dude, I know.
Is that the Danzig font?
Yeah, so he so this was like it's because this was a Jack Kirby bootleg, so he's saying "Am I Demon?"
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, pretty crafty.
Yeah, West Coast Dave had a cool one in there. Oh, dude, I see you have, speaking of back walls there, I see you have the Jim Rugg Megaton Man.
Yeah, so yeah, I got that from you guys, and then the Don Simpson penciled pieces right here that I got from you.
Yeah, Don was pissed at me. I thought he said, send one out with every couple things. I did a bunch of extra. He did not say that. And then I had to be like, oh shit, Don, I need like 30 more of those. He's like, are you serious? But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, Don's a good dude. He's a friend of the show. He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, Don is awesome. I really enjoyed working with him.
Yeah, we had a pretty epic long episode that night. Don can talk, and it was fun to sit and listen. Yeah.
And he's been there, done that, man, too. He's seen a lot of stuff in this business, man.
100%, man.
I mean, so much so he quit and like worked at like Target or Best Buy or something, and then came back.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have cooking right now that you want to make sure to let everybody know to be on the lookout for? I know you've got that Kickstarter and all of that, so now would be a great time in the show to let everybody know what they need to be on the lookout for. I saw Sam put the links up in the chat and everything, so
sweet. Yeah, just absolutely go to cosmiclionproductions.com where you can get everything there. Yeah, our Kickstarter has about a week left. Real life comics only in New York, featuring a cadre of the greatest comics cartoonists with New York based stories. You're not going to want to miss it. We have tons of new stuff. We are being distributed by Prana through Lunar right now, so you can go to your local comic book shop and ask for the two books that we have right now for ordering in your comic book shops. Is Recess Pieces from Bob Fingerman. Yes, that Bob Fingerman from Mad Magazine, Your Ninja Turtles, from Minimum Wage, all those great things. He has a book, Recess Pieces, that he redid about elementary school students, and when the zombie apocalypse hits, it only affects people who have had puberty. And so if you haven't had puberty, these young kids are battling upperclassmen and their teachers in a fight for their lives. So it's amazing, beautiful hardback book. You're going to want to grab it. You can order that, as well as the first offering from Cosmic Lion Manga, which is called Side Quest into World Domination by Squire McGuire. It's super amazing. He's a killer artist. It's a reverse isekai, which means that people from a fantasy world come into our world. It's absolutely amazing. You're definitely going to want to check it out. It's got that, the first couple pages of each chapter is in this beautiful color, and then we get into that manga. It reads, from right to left like a normal manga, and it's got that paper newsprint. So check those out in your local comic book shop. Starting next year, we'll be in bookshops all over the world. And each month we're going to have new offerings. So keep up with that. Keep up with your people. We have the final month of our we don't have distribution anymore rollout of books starting May 1st, or the first Wednesday in May, with Overkiller by Kevin Tran, which is an absolutely killer, kind of like, definitely like in the school of Kevin Anthony Catalan and Raymar Brunson. Kevin Tran is a acolyte of the Catalan School of Art, and he's got this big fat, and by fat I mean like Chris Bachalo, Umberto Ramos, that type of cliffhanger feel, action adventure stuff. The first Wednesday, and then the third Wednesday we have Scoundrel, the newest book by legendary cartoonist Matt Howarth. And so that's going to be coming out on Cosmic Lion Productions the first and third Wednesday of this month. And then we're going to move all new books roll out to Lunar and Prana. So dang, like just keep
Holy cow, dude.
Jesus, just keep apprised. And then we're going to be
not much going on then.
And we're going to be at Heroes Con with like about 20 or so of the Cosmic Lion creators. And then we're going to be at both IC3's Jacksonville. And if you're in the LA area, we're going to be at Lotzilla at Revenge of, which is a local killer comic book shop. And so that's going to be a local thing, which is the Cosmic Lion full booth featuring vintage toys as well as vintage t-shirts and comics and the original stuff as well. So nonstop, never stop, never stopping, as
busy.
Pop Stars says. Yeah, man.
I will say, out of all the self promotions that we've had on the show,
best,
probably the best one.
Number one. Yeah. You can tell he's done that a time or two.
When I'm at the booth, you know, now that the stuff has been growing and we have like almost 60 books, it's really hard to bring everything. But one of my catches is, you know, we've got almost 60 books here. I've memorized every single pitch. Test me. Pick one out. I've got you, you know. So I've got all these, you know, I can remember every single pitch, but I can't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday or what my girlfriend wants me to do when I get home. But like, you know, I know every single pitch, you know.
Well, I take that as a message to yourself that you're in the right business.
I think so too, man. Sales is a multi-generational thing in my family. So I think I'm just living up to what's in my blood.
Beats the hell out of refunding in-app purchases for Heroes Clash, right?
God damn, it does. Absolutely, man. 100%.
Because you were born for this.
Thank you, Ro.
Yeah.
Ro's the best. I couldn't do without Ro right now. She's the most amazing person.
Awesome, Eli. Man, this has been super fun. I'm glad that we got to connect, and I'll be reaching out to you to get you on the solo pod as well so we can hang out some more.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited. I love these casts, man. I love hanging out with y'all, talking, and it's great. Comics are the best, man.
She threw out a pshaw.
There you go, Ro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Sam, you got anything else for Eli before we let him go?
Not really, man. Just keep making comics. That's really about it. Hustle.
Hell yeah.
Mr. Brandon Paul, look him up, Eli.
All right, I will.
He says, I hate that I got here so late, but I'm definitely going to be going back to watch this one.
Definitely,
man.
Right
on, Brandon. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Eli, thanks for being here. Sam, always good to see you. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.